Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel Code 369. We are learning JavaScript algorithms and data structures, and this is a full stack development course, and today is class 66. So the website from which we are learning our JavaScript algorithms and data structures is freecodecamp, and I have given the link in the description box to access this website. So far we have completed basic JavaScript, ES6, regular expressions, debugging, basic data structures, basic algorithm scripting, object-oriented programming, functional programming, and in intermediate algorithm scripting, we have completed up to this exercise, okay, missing letters. So now we have to see sorted union, okay. So let us see what is sorted union. For example, here we are having an array 1, 3, 2, and there is another array 5, 2, 1, 4, and another array 2, 1, okay. So it should be returning 1, 3, 2, 5, 4. So how it works? For example, we are having numbers 1, 3, 2. So if these numbers are repeated in any of these arrays, that should be omitted, okay. So here we are having 1, 3, 2. So this is returned here, and here we are having 5, 2, 1, 4. But already 1 and 2 are there in the first array, okay. So only 5 and 4 will be returned. So we are having 5 and 4. And in this array, it is 2 and 1. So 2 and 1 are already repeated in the first and second array. So this also should be omitted. So here what they are telling is, write a function that takes 2 or more arrays and returns a new array of unique values, okay, of unique values that should not be repeated, okay. So that is what they are saying. So here we are going to write the answer. So let me finish the answer and I will be explaining you. So this is what our result is, okay, the answer is, okay. So let us explain it. So this is a function and this is receiving array, okay, ARR, and that ARR is nothing but this, okay, all these things. So what we are going to do is, so let me print what is ARR here, okay, and see what is ARR. So in the first itself I am going to be giving console.log of ARR, okay, and you can see 1, 3, 2. So it is giving only the first array, okay, and not the second and third array. So what we are going to do is, we are going to have all the arguments, okay, for example the first array, second array and the third array, and let us store it in variable called args, okay. So how to store? So we are having an array here, and inside that array we are going to give dot 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 arguments, okay, and let us see the results of arguments, okay, args. So give console.log of args, okay. Now you will be having all the three arrays stored in an array, okay. So this is what args is. So let me write this also here. For example, args, okay, and give comma. And this is nothing but ARR, okay. So give it in a string, okay. And this is nothing but ARR and this is nothing but args, okay. So next what we are going to do is, we are going to create a variable called result, and that is an empty array. So this is where we are going to store our results, okay, and we are going to use for loop here, and that for loop will be starting with I equal to 0, and that is nothing but index, okay, I is nothing but index, and the index is always starting from 0. We will be having let I equal to 0, and index will be always less than arguments dot length, okay. So instead of this we can write like this also. For example, I am giving parenthesis and I am giving -1, okay. So like this also we can write, okay, these are same. So args dot length minus 1 is nothing but the index of the last element of the args, okay. So this is what args, and args dot length minus 1 is nothing but this element, okay, the index of this element. And index will be always increasing with the value of 1, so we have given I plus plus, and that index will be added until it gets the index of the final element. So this is what the index of the final element, and when this index value reaches this index, it will be stopped, okay, and after that it will not be incremented. That's it. Then we are having another for loop here, okay. So why do we use for loop here? Just to access the elements present in this array, okay. So this I loop will be accessing the arrays, okay, the subarrays. For example, if I equal to 0, this means this index, this array, okay, subarray. And if I equal to 1, that means this subarray. And if I equal to 2, that means this subarray, okay. And now we are going to access the elements inside the subarray, and for that we are going to give j equal to 0, okay. So j equal to 0 means the first element of the subarray, okay. So 1, 5, 2. So these are all j equal to 0, and this j will be incremented until it gets the index of the last element, okay. So I am giving like this. You can write like that or this, okay, that's your wish. So args of index I dot length minus 1 is nothing but the last element in the subarray, and that is 2, 4, 1, okay. So the index value will be increasing until it gets to the last element of the subarray, okay. So that is why we have given like this, and j plus plus. The index will be added with the value of 1, okay. So with I equal to 0, we will be accessing j equal to 0, j equal to 1 and j equal to 2, okay. For example, I equal to 0, j equal to 0 means, first of all, I equal to 0 means the first subarray, okay. And in that subarray, j equal to 0 means the first element, and the j equal to 1 means second element, and j equal to 2 means third element. And if I equal to 1 means the second subarray, okay. And in that subarray, if j equal to 0 means the first element, okay, and j equal to 1 means second element, and the j equal to 2 means the third element. Like that we are accessing using the for loop, okay. Then we will be using if condition here, and the if condition tells not result dot includes args of index ij, okay. So args of index ij means the element of the subarrays, okay, the element of the subarrays 1, 3, 2, 5, 2, 1, 4, all these things, okay. Result dot includes, it means the result, okay, result dot includes means the result includes, okay. So what does the result includes? The elements like this, okay, the element of 1, 3, 2, okay, like that. So, and we are having the not symbol before it. So if the result is not including the arguments of index ij, it means if the result is not including these elements of 1, 3, 2, all these things, okay, 1, 3, 2, 5, 2, 1, 4, that particular element should be pushed to the result array, okay. So if this element 1 or 3 or 2 is not already present inside this result array, that particular element 1 or 3 or 2 or anything, okay, or 2 or 1, that will be pushed to the result array, okay. That's what we have written here, and finally we will be returning the result. That's it. Press Ctrl Enter. Now we are going to convert the HTML entities. For example, here you can see we are having dolls here, and dolls is written as it is, and we are having and here, okay. But what we have written is, we have written and amp, okay. Amp is nothing but ampersand, okay. And here you can see hamburgers is written as it is, but less than is written as and lt, okay. And here also less than is written as and lt, okay. And here you can see greater than is result as written as and gt, okay. So like that we have to write the HTML entities, okay. We have to convert the HTML entities, okay. We have to convert string to their corresponding HTML entities. So here also you can see there is and, so it should be converted as and amp, okay, like this. So let us write the code and I will be explaining you, okay. So this is very simple. This is as like as what we did in the DNA pairs, okay. This is very simple. This is as like as what we did in the DNA pairs, okay. So first of all we will be receiving a string and that string is nothing but this, okay. And I have created an object here named as HTML entities, and this object will be having some HTML entities, okay. For example, I have taken all these values from here. So and is equal to and amp and less than is equal to and lt, okay, all these things. So I have taken from this area, okay. So I have written for the string of and, the HTML entity should be and amp, okay. And for less than string, the HTML entity should be and lt, okay. Like that I have written all the key values here, okay. All the values for all the HTML entity value for the strings, okay. Then what I am going to be doing is, I am going to be returning a string, okay. I am going to be returning this string which is replaced by something, okay. For example, I am going to be using replace method here. So what I am going to be doing is, I am going to replace this, okay. I am going to replace this with this, okay. That is what I am going to do. So what I have written here is, okay, what I have written here is, inside the character set I have written and, okay, and less than, greater than, okay, that is what I have written here. And then the slash, double quotes, okay, all these things. Actually, as this is a string, we have written like this, okay. As this is written inside a string, we have written like this, okay, inside the character code, sorry, character set. So I have written like this, and less than, greater than, sorry. So I have written all the symbols here. So whenever these symbols come, I will be replacing with the value of HTML entities, okay, like this. So this is what I have to replace, and G flag is nothing but if this string is repeated, I am going to be replacing with this, okay. So already we know it from the regular expressions, okay, already we have seen all these things. So now I am going to be writing by which we are going to replace. So I am using a function here, okay. So match is the argument which is passed here, okay, and we are returning HTML entities of match. So if and is coming here, that will be passed with the name of match, okay, and that will be replaced with HTML entities of match. And HTML entities of match is nothing but, HTML entities is the object, okay, and if this and is passed as the match here, we will be searching for and here, okay. So this will be having the value of and amp, okay. So if and is passed as the value of match here, it will be searching HTML entities object and match, okay. Match is nothing but and here. So this will be returning the value of and amp, okay, here. So finally, if and is passed, if and is there, and it should be replaced with HTML entities of and, okay. So it will be replaced with and amp. That's it. Press Ctrl Enter. So you can see the result here. For example, console.log of. So you are getting the result of and amp. Okay, that's it. Press Ctrl Enter. So now we are going to see Fibonacci, okay, sum of all odd Fibonacci numbers. So first of all, you have to know what is Fibonacci numbers. The first two numbers in the Fibonacci sequence are 1 and 1, okay. Every additional number in the sequence is the sum of the two previous numbers. So the first 6 numbers of the Fibonacci sequence are 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, okay. So 1 will be added with 0, so it will be getting 1 again, and this 1 will be added with the previous one, so it will be getting 2, and this 2 will be added with the previous one and it will be getting 3, and this 3 will be added with the previous 2 and it will be getting 5, and this 5 will be added with the previous 3 and it will be getting 8, okay. Like this it will be continuously going. So the current number will be added with the previous number and it will be returning a new number. That's it, okay. That is what Fibonacci is. So now what we are going to do is we are going to write sum of all odd Fibonacci numbers, okay. So we will be having some Fibonacci numbers and we will be writing the sum of the odd Fibonacci numbers, okay. For example, 1, 3 and all those things. And they have given here, for example, sum of fibs of 10 should return 10 because all the odd Fibonacci numbers less than or equal to 10 are 1, 1, 3, 5, okay. So what we have to write is, if they give the number as 10, we have to add all the odd Fibonacci numbers that are less than 10, okay. That is what we have to do. So let me finish the code and I will be explaining it. So this is what our code, okay. Actually Fibonacci series is very simple, but if you understand it clearly, okay. So this is a function and it receives num, okay. For example, if num is the value of 10, okay, num will be having the value of 10. What we will be doing is we will be adding all the odd Fibonacci numbers, okay, all the Fibonacci numbers that are less than 10, okay. That is what we are going to do, okay. So let me make it a comment. So what they are giving is, they are giving a number, okay, and what we are going to do is we are going to add all the Fibonacci numbers that are less than that number. So here they have given 4 as the number. So we are going to add all the Fibonacci numbers that are less than 4 and all the Fibonacci numbers should be odd, okay. That is also a condition. And first of all, you have to know clearly what is a Fibonacci number. For example, Fibonacci is nothing but, Fibonacci numbers are nothing but, okay, equal to previous number plus current number, okay. So that is what Fibonacci numbers are. For example, the first Fibonacci numbers are 1, 1, okay. Then the next number will be 1 plus 1, so it will be 2, okay. And the next number will be 2 plus 1 and that is 3. And the next number will be 3 plus 2 and that is 5, okay. And it will be going on like this, and 5 plus 3, 8. And 8 plus 5, that is 12. And 12 plus 8, that is 20. Okay, like that it will be going on. So here if they are giving the number should be 4, we should be taking all the Fibonacci numbers not only the Fibonacci numbers, that should be odd also, okay. So we will be taking all the odd Fibonacci numbers that are less than 4 and we will be adding it, okay. So what are the odd numbers that are less than 4? What are the odd Fibonacci numbers that are less than 4? Here you can see 1, 1, 3, okay. So the result should be 5. That is what we have to get, okay. So let us go to the program now. First of all, what I have declared here is let previous number equal to 0, okay, and the current number equal to 1. So first let us see here. Okay, let me take this number to the top. So these are what the Fibonacci numbers are, okay, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. So I have given previous number as 0. So why? Because Fibonacci numbers are nothing but the current number plus the previous number, okay. So here the current number is 1, here the current number is 1 and the previous number is 1, okay. So these 1 plus 1 will make to 2 and then the current number is 2 and the previous number is 1, okay. So it will make 3. That is what Fibonacci numbers are. But for this first number 1, okay, we are not having any previous number. So what we will be doing is we will be taking the previous number as 0, okay. So 0 plus 1 will be giving the result of 1, okay. So for that we are having previous number as 0 and then current number as 1 because the current number is 1 here, okay. This is where it starts. So I have given the current number as 1, okay. And I have given let result equal to 0. So this result will be getting updated, okay, every time. So let us see after this. And I have given a while condition here, okay. And what the while condition says is the current number should be less than or equal to num, okay. The current number should be less than or equal to num. So this current number should be less than or equal to num. So after this, so the current number should not exceed this num value, okay, which is given as parameter to the function, okay. So if 4 is the upper value, what are the numbers that will be taken from the Fibonacci series? If 4 is the upper limit for the Fibonacci numbers, what are the values that will be taken? 1, 1, 2, 3, okay, and 5 will not be taken. So that is what written here. And again one more condition is those numbers should be odd numbers, okay. So only 1, 1 and 3 will be taken, 2 will not be taken. So for odd numbers we are writing this condition. If we are dividing the current number by 2, the remainder should not be equal to 0, okay. So it means that this should be an odd number, okay. So even numbers only will be getting remainder as 0 when divided by 2. So odd numbers will not be getting remainder. Yeah, we have written not operator here, okay. Sorry, not equal to here. So odd numbers will not be getting remainder as 0 when divided by 2, okay. So this says that this is a condition for odd number, okay, that's it. So if this is an odd number, what will happen? We will be adding the result with the value of the current number, okay. So initially the result is set to 0 and the current number which we are having is 1. So this 0 will be added with the number of 1, okay. So now the result will become 1, okay, that's what written here. And then what will happen is after the number is added, okay, for example, after this 1 is added with 0, it will be resulting in 1, okay. Now the current number has changed. Previously it was 1, okay, but now the current number has become 1, okay. And in the next time the current number will become 2 and next time it will become 3, okay, so it will be changing. And every time the previous number also will change. For example, if the current number is 1, the previous number is 1. and when the current number changes to 2, the previous number will change to 1, okay, and when the current number changes to 3, the previous number will change to 2, okay. So every time the current number and the previous number will be changing. So for that we are writing code here, okay. So current number is nothing but plus equal to previous number, okay. That is what the formula is. For example, okay, for example, this current number 2, okay, if 2 is the current number means, if 2 is the current number means, this 2 is nothing but, okay, this 2 is nothing but, let's say in new terms, for example, I am changing the value here, okay, I am changing the variable name as new current number, okay, new current number, and it will be very easy for you to understand. New current number, okay. And here also I am writing as new previous number, okay. And again somewhere I have to change the code, new previous number, yeah, here. Sorry, I have confused everything, I think so, okay. So let me tell you with this itself, okay. For example, I am having the new current number as 2, okay. I am having the new current number as 2, and this is nothing but the new current number, okay, and this is nothing but the new previous number, and I am having the new current number as 2. So how it came? 1 plus 2, 1 plus 1, okay. So previously this was the current number, okay, before 2, 1 was the current number and 1 was the previous number. So what we did was we added the 1 and 1, so that were previous number and the current number, okay. So if 1 is the current number and 1 is the previous number, the previous number and current number will be added and it will be giving the result of new current number, okay. So that is what we have written here. So new current number is nothing but previous number and the current number, okay. That's what we have written here. And then we have to write code for previous number also. For example, let's say the numbers are 1, 1, 2, okay. So initially the Fibonacci starts with 1 and then 1 and then 2, okay. So these are Fibonacci numbers. What I told was new current number equal to old current number plus previous number, okay. So I told you example. For example, if 2 is the new current number, it was coming from the old current number of 1 and the previous number of 1, okay. So like that the 2 has come. Now what we are going to do is we are going to have new previous number, okay, and this new previous number is nothing but okay, current number minus previous number, okay. So now this current number is nothing but the new current number, okay, because this is new current number, so this also has become new current number. So new current number minus previous number. For example, if I am having the new current number as 2, okay, if I am having the new current number as 2, so what is the old current number? That is 1. And what is the previous number? That is 1, okay. And by seeing we can say what is the previous number of this new current number 2? 1 is the previous number, okay. So what we can write is, okay, this 2 is nothing but, okay, we have to write new previous number. So this 1 is called the new previous number here, okay. So I am giving new previous number, and that is nothing but the 1, okay. Which one? This second one, okay. If 2 is the new current number, and I am going to be writing 2 minus this 1, okay. This 2 minus this 1, that means new current number minus previous number, and that is old previous number. So this new previous number is nothing but this new current number minus the old previous number, okay. Because 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, so we can write 1 equal to 2 minus 1, okay. That is what written here. So if you do not understand it quickly, watch it 2 or 3 times and it will be easily understood, okay. So now we will be having the new current number and also the new previous number, okay. And we will be returning the result. That's it. Press Ctrl Enter. So now what we have to see is sum all primes. And first of all, you have to know what is a prime number. A prime number is a whole number greater than 1 with exactly 2 divisors, okay, 1 and itself. For example, 2 is a prime number because it is only divisible by 1 and 2, okay. In contrast, 4 is not a prime since it is divisible by 1, 2 and 4. So what we can conclude is prime number is a number which can be only divisible by 1 and by itself, okay. So rewrite sum primes, so it returns the sum of all the prime numbers that are less than or equal to the num. So what they will be doing is, they will be giving a number for this parameter called num, and what we have to do is, we have to add all the prime numbers that are less than or equal to this 10, okay. That is what we have to do. So first of all, let me complete the answer and I will be explaining you. And this is what our answer is, okay. Actually prime number is very easy. So let us see it. So this is what the function we are going to work with, and this num is nothing but the argument here, okay. Actually I have deleted the function call. The function call was 10, okay. Sum primes of 10. And if you print the answer, you can see so now you can see the output for this function. Sum primes of 10 will be returning the answer of 17, okay. So what are the prime numbers that are less than or equal to 10? And it will be starting with 2, 3, 5, 7. That's it, okay. So 2 plus 3, 5, 5 plus 5, 10, 10 plus 7, 17, okay. This is what the result that we have to have, equal to 17, okay. Sum of these numbers will be equal to 17, that's it. So let us explain the function here. So this is what our function, okay. Inside this function there is also another function. So let me say why we have used another function inside this function. So I'm sorry, let me change it to x, okay, so it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, now I'm going to be explaining you. Actually, this function is for the purpose of checking whether a number is a prime number or not, okay. This function is used to check whether a number is a prime number or not, okay. And this code here, this is used to find the sum of the prime numbers, okay. So that's it. So this function, what it does is, it will be receiving an argument, okay. It will be receiving an argument, and that is number. And what it will be doing is, it will be checking whether that number is a prime number or not, okay. And let me explain how it works. For example, we have to check whether 9 is a prime number or not, okay. Okay, whether we have, what we have to do is, we have to check whether 9 is a prime number or not. So for that, what we will be doing is, we will be using a for loop, okay. And you can see a condition here. So let me explain it first of all, and then we can proceed this part, okay, this execution part. So for example, if I have to find the divisors of the 36, okay, to find the divisors of 36. Divisors means what are the numbers that will be dividing 36. So what I can do is, I can give 1 into 36, okay, and 2 into 36, sorry, 2 into 18, and then 3 into 6, and then what are the numbers, 4 into 9, and then what else, 5, 6, okay, so again 6 into 3, and then 2 into 18, and then 36 into 1, okay. So what you can see here is, these are the multiplied numbers that can be produce the result of 36, okay. So if I multiply these two numbers, you can get 36, and if I multiply these two numbers, I can get 36, and if I multiply these two numbers, I can get 36. So like this, you can see there is one, the divisor of 36, here it will be 1, and we are having divisor as 2, and we are having divisor as 3, and we are having divisor as 4, okay. And again you can see, this is reversed here, okay. For example, here 9 into 4. So this whole part is reversed here, you can see, okay. Here there is 1 into 36, and here 36 into 1. Here 2 into 18, and this is 2 into 18. This is 3 into 6, and 6, this is 6 into 3, and this is 4 into 9, and this is 9 into 4. So the whole part, this is repeated here, okay. Just we have changed the order of it, okay. Here we have written 1 into 36, here we have written 36 into 1. So just we changed the order, okay. But the numbers are same, 1 and 36, 36 and 1. So the numbers are same. So what we can do is, if we have to find the divisors of 36, just what we can do is, we can take the numbers less than or equal to square root of 36, okay. So we can take the numbers that are less than or equal to square root of 36. Okay, square root of 36. So what are the numbers that are less than or equal to square root of 36? What are the numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So square root of 36 is nothing but 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what we can conclude is, so here you can see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and then 6. Actually, I have to change the code here, okay. Here it will be coming 6 into 3. And here it should be coming 3 into 6, okay. I'm sorry my friends, I have done a lot of mistakes here. For example, 3 into 6 is 18, but I have assumed it as 36, okay. So I'm sorry. Let me delete all this code and I will be rewriting it and I will be explaining you, okay. I'm sorry. So I have rewritten all the code, okay, all the numbers here. So here you can see 1 into 36, 2 into 18, 3 into 12, 4 into 9, okay, and 6 into 6. And again this is changed. And after the 6 into 6, here you can see 4 into 9 is reversed here as 9 into 4. And 3 into 12 is reversed here as 12 into 3. And here you can see 2 into 18 is reversed as 18 into 2. And 1 into 36 is reversed here as 36 into 1. So if you have to find the divisors, okay, the possible divisors, if you have to find the possible divisors, okay, of 36, what you can do is, you can use square root of 36, okay, the numbers which are less than or equal to square root of 36. And these are the numbers which are less than or equal to square root of 36, okay. So above this 6, no numbers will be the divisor, okay. Above this 6, no numbers will be divisor. For example, 1 is here, 2 is here, 3 is here, 4 is here, and 6 is here, okay. Again you can see 4 is there, 3 is there, 2 is there, 1 is there, okay. So we don't have to think more than the numbers. We don't have to think the numbers which are more than the square root of 36, okay. So if someone is asking what are the numbers that are divisors of 36, the possible answers can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But we cannot say all these numbers will be dividing 36, okay. All these numbers will be dividing 36. We cannot say like that. What we can say is, from 1 to 6, any number can divide, okay. Some numbers can divide 36. That is what we can say. From 1 to 6, some numbers can divide 36. So above 6, we don't have to find any divisors, okay. So that's it. So from 1 to 6, what are the numbers that are dividing 36? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, this 5 will not be dividing 36. So delete this. So these are the divisors of 36, okay. So let us go to our problem here. So this is what we have done here, I less than or equal to math dot square root of x, okay. So if you have to find if you have to find possible divisors of x, okay. So x is the number which we are taking as argument here. So if you have to find the possible divisors of x, what you can do is you can use less than or equal to math dot square root of x, okay. So I less than or equal to math dot square root of x means I is the numbers, okay. I is the numbers that can possibly divide this x, okay. So that's it. So why do we use this square root concept here, okay? Why do we use square root concept here? Because this is reducing our time, because here we are finding 1 to 6, okay? Here we are having 1 to 6 numbers which are multiplying the 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And again it is repeating. So here also there is 4, 3, 2, 1, okay? So this is repeating. So we do not have to find the numbers more than 6, okay? More than the square root of 36. So it saves time for us. That is why we have done here, okay? And what will happen if I remove this square root concept, okay? So here you can see the output as 0. So math dot square root, that is the right concept, okay. So you can see the output as 17. So let us go to the concept now. For example, if we have an input, okay, for example x equal to 9, okay, x equal to 9. Here x equal to 9, okay. So what are the numbers that can possibly divide 9? So the numbers that are less than or equal to square root of 9, okay. Square root of 9 is nothing but 3. So what are the numbers that are less than or equal to 3? 1, 2, 3. So these are the possible numbers that can divide 9, okay. We cannot say that all these numbers will be dividing, but these are the possible numbers that can divide 9. So 2 will not be dividing, but these are the possible numbers that will divide 9, okay. So we are going to check whether a number is a prime number or not, okay. We are going to check whether a number is a prime number or not. So we are using for loop here, and we will be initializing the value of I as 2, okay, because prime number is divided by only 1 and itself, okay. So we are ignoring the number of 1, okay. So we are ignoring the number 1 and we are starting with 2. And what we will be doing is, we will be finding what are the numbers that can possibly divide this x, okay. So we are using I less than or equal to math dot square root. And we will be increasing this I value. So it will start from 2 and the value will be increased by 1 every time, and when it reaches the number less than or equal to math dot square root of x, it will be stopping that function, okay. It will be stopping that loop. So let us get into the execution block. So here you can see one more thing. I am using if condition, and in that if condition I am giving x modulus I equal to 0. It means that when x is divided by I, okay, when x is divided by I, if the remainder is 0, and it will be returning false, okay. For example, if 9 is the number, okay, so delete this. For example, 9 is the number which is passed as x, okay, and I am initially dividing it with 2, okay, I value is 2. And if I am dividing 9 with the value of 2, so let me write it down here, okay. So no need, for example, I am changing the value of x to 6, okay. So what are the possible divisors of 6? Square root of the numbers which are less than or equal to square root of 6, okay. We do not even know the exact value of square root of 6. Otherwise we can use console.log here, okay, and find math.square root of 6, okay. So you will be getting the output as 2.44. So possibly 2, okay. So 1, 2. So we should take, we should take 3 also, because this is 2.44, okay. So we should take up to 3, 1, 2, 3. So remove this. So we can see the possible divisors of 6 are 1, 2 and 3, okay. So here if 6 is the number, okay, if 6 is the number and if it is divided by 2 here, if it returns the remainder of 0, okay, if it returns the number of 0, remainder of 0, I'm sorry, if it returns the remainder of 0, it means that 6 is divisible by 2, okay. So here we are having 6, x as 6, okay, and we are dividing it by 2, and if it returns the remainder of 0, it means that 6 can be divided by 2, okay. So in our case, what we are doing it, we are finding the prime number, okay. So if this x is divided by I, okay, if x is divisible by I, it means that it is not a prime number, because prime number should be divided by 1 and by itself. So if this x is divided by any other number, that should return false, okay. That is why we have written false here. And if that x is not divisible by any other number other than by itself, it will be returning true, okay. That's it. So then what will be happening? So initially, so we are omitting this 1 here, okay. So directly we have taken 2, because prime number will be divisible by itself and by 1. So we are omitting this 1, okay. So let us do 3. Let us take 2 and 3. Only 2 and 3. So we are checking with 2 here, okay. And 6 is, if 6 is divided by 2, it will be leaving the remainder of 0. So it is not a prime number. So we will be returning false, okay. And then we will be adding the value of I as 1, okay, I with 1. So now it will become 3. And we will check whether 6 is divided by 3. And for that also it will be leaving remainder as 0. So this is not considered as a prime number. So again it will be returning false, okay. So that's it. So if we give x as 2, what will happen? Here you can see, if I give x as 2, what will happen? Initially this 2 will be divided by this I value 2, okay. No, sorry. The possible divisors for x will be square root of 4, okay, less than or equal to square root of 4. Sorry, square root of 2. So the square root of 2 will be less than 1, okay, less than 1. So what will happen is the possible divisors for x will be 1, okay. Other than 1, there will not be any possible divisor. So initially our I value is starting with 2. So we will not have this block, okay. So we will not have this block executed. So directly this will return true. So 2 will be considered as a prime number here, okay. So this is very simple. I'm thinking I'm stressing too much on it, but it is very easy, okay. So normally this function is used to check whether a number is a prime number or not, okay. Then we are going to this code here, okay. We are having let sum equal to 0 and we are having a for loop here. So what is the usage of for loop here? Initially we will be taking I value as 2 and that I value will be increased up to the number less than or equal to num, okay. Num is the number which we are receiving here as the argument, okay, the main argument here. And inside the block we can see if is prime of I, okay, if is prime of I. So normally what we have to do in this code is, in this operation is, we have to find the sum of the all prime numbers that are less than or equal to the num, okay, the num. So we have to find all the prime numbers, we have to find all the sum of the prime numbers that are less than or equal to num, okay, that are less than or equal to num. So first of all we have to take all the prime numbers that are less than or equal to num. So what we are going to do is we are going to use if condition and we will be taking all the prime numbers that are less than or equal to num. So what we have to do, if we have to check whether a number is a prime number or not, we have to use this function, okay. So it will be returning whether a number is a prime number or not, okay. So in order to use this function, what we are going to do is we are calling the function here, okay, is prime of I. So I is nothing but all the numbers that are less than or equal to num, okay. So all the numbers will be sent into this function with the name of I, okay, and if it is a prime number it will be returning true, okay. So this will become true. So this code will be executed, and if it is not a prime number, if this I is not a prime number, this will be returning false. So this code will not be executed, okay. So that's it. So if this I is a prime number, what will happen? This prime number will be added to the sum, okay. So initially the sum value is 0. This prime number will be added to the sum. So likewise all the prime numbers will be added to the sum, okay. And finally the sum will be returned, okay. That's it. Press Ctrl Enter. Here we have to find the smallest common multiple, okay, smallest common multiple. Smallest common multiple is nothing but LCM, we can call it as LCM. So smallest common multiple can be called as LCM. But here the LCM will be little bit different. For example, find the smallest common multiple of the provided parameters that can be evenly divided by both as well as by all sequential numbers in the range between these parameters. So what they are saying is we should find the least common multiple of these two numbers that are divided by both these numbers, and not only divided by both these numbers but also it should be divided by the numbers which are present inside the range, okay. For example, the range of numbers that are present inside 1 and 5 are 2, 3, 4, okay. So the least common multiple that we will be having should be divided by all the numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. So that is what they are saying. And also again one more thing they are saying is the range will be an array of two numbers that will not necessarily be in numerical order. So what they are saying is, they can give like this 1 comma 5, otherwise they can give like 5 comma 1 also, okay. Even though it is given as 5 comma 1, what you have to find is, you have to find the LCM of the numbers. You have to find the LCM of 5 and 1 that are divided by 5 and 1, and also the numbers which are present inside that range, okay. So that's what they are saying. For example, if given 1 and 3, find the smallest common multiple of both and 1 and 3, that is also evenly divisible by all numbers between 1 and 3, okay. So the answer here would be 6. So what can be the least common multiple of 1 and 3? That is 3, okay. So this is the least common multiple of 3 because it is divided by both 1 and 3. And also least common multiple is nothing but, here I am listing numbers which are divided by both 1 and 3. So what are the numbers that can be dividing? So what are the numbers that can be divided by both 1 and 3? 3 can be divided by both 1 and 3. And 6 can be divided by both 1 and 3. And 9 can be divided by both 1 and 3. But least common multiple is nothing but, what is the minimum number that can be divided by both 1 and 3? That is what least common multiple is, okay. So 3 is the least common multiple here. So 3 is the minimum number that can be divided by both 1 and 3, okay. And what they are saying is, we should not stop by finding the LCM. Also we have to consider a condition. It should be divided by all the numbers in the range. For example, it should not be only divided by 1 and 3, but also it should be divided by the numbers between them. So what are the numbers between 1 and 3? Okay. What are the numbers that are between 1 and 3? We are having 2 also, okay. So this LCM should be divided by 2 also. That is what they are saying. So whether 3 is divided by 2, I am having a question mark. 3 is divided by 2, no, okay. So what we have to do is, we have to consider 3 as wrong answer, okay. So already I told what are the numbers that can be multiplied by both 1 and 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, all these things, okay. So here this condition becomes false. 3 is divided by 2, no. So consider 3 as wrong answer. So what should be happening is, the LCM should be divided by both 1, 2 and 3, okay. So what is the number that can be divided by both 1, 2 and 3? 6 is the number, okay. So 6 should be the answer, okay. 6 should be the answer. So here what we are doing is, we are finding the least common multiple of numbers from x to y, okay, x to y. Let us say from range of 1, 3, okay. So we are finding LCM of 1, 2, 3, okay. That's what we are doing here. So if they have given 1 to 5, what we are doing is we are finding LCM of, okay, LCM of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 4, 5. That's what we are doing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So okay, that's it. So we are going to find the answer. So let me write the answer and I will be explaining you. So this is what our code is and I'm going to be explaining you. And here this is the function, okay, and it receives an argument called ARR, okay, and in that array we are having 1, 5. It means that we are going to find LCM of the numbers starting from 1 to 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to find the LCM of all the numbers from 1 to 5. Okay. So that is what we are doing. And in this condition, what they have told us, so the range will be an array of two numbers that will not necessarily be in numerical order. So what they are telling is always the numbers will not be given as 1, 5. It can be given as 5, 1 also, okay. So in order to solve that, what we are going to do is, we are going to have this, okay. So we have written const of min, max, okay. Const of min, max, I equal to ARR dot sort of a, b, arrow a minus b. So what this will be doing is, it will be, so this will be doing sorting, okay, ascending order. So this is what it will be doing. So it will, this sort method is used to find the ascending order, okay. For example, here we are passing ARR dot sort, okay. So we are finding the ascending order of this array ARR, okay, that is 1, 5. So we are finding the ascending order of 1, 5. So it will be returning the answer of 1, 5, okay. And the first element is 1, so that will be assigned to min, and the second element will be 5, so that will be assigned to max, okay. So minimum value will be 1 and maximum value will be 5. So even if we have given 5, 1 here, okay, 5, 1 here, this will be made into ascending order. So it will change to 1, 5, and 1, 5 will be assigned to min and max, okay. Here you can see min and max. So that's it. And then what we are going to do is, we are going to find number of devices, okay, number of devices, and that is, the formula is max minus min, min plus 1, okay. So let us take for this example number of devices, okay, number of devices of the range of 1, 5. So what is the formula here? Max minus min plus 1, okay. So the maximum number is 5, so minus min, so minus 1 plus 1, okay. So the result will be 5. So here we will be having answer of 5, and this number of devices, okay, is nothing but the number of numbers that will be considered, okay. So this number of devices is nothing but number of numbers, okay, number of numbers that we are taking for LCM, okay, that we are taking for LCM. So here what we are doing, here we are going to find the LCM of numbers from 1 to 5, okay. So for how many numbers we are going to find LCM? 5 numbers. Okay, that is why we have written here. So for 5 numbers we are going to find LCM. Okay, that is what the answer here will be. Okay, then what we are going to do is we are going to find the largest possible multiple of, okay, of the numbers from 1 to 5. Okay, so what is the largest possible multiple of the numbers from 1 to 5? So what we can do is we can multiply all the numbers 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. Okay, so this is what going to be the largest possible multiple of numbers from 1 to 5. So what is the result? 6 4 is 24, 24 into 5, 120. Okay, so this is what the largest possible multiple of numbers from 1 to 5. And let us print the result of this LCM here. Console.log of, you can see 60. Okay, and after the completion of all these code, you can find the least common multiple of numbers from 1 to 5. Okay, the smallest multiple of the numbers of 1 to 5, and that is 60. Okay, but we are finding the largest possible multiple of numbers from 1 to 5, and that is 120. Okay, so there is a reason behind finding this. Okay, so here what we have done is we have find the largest multiple of the numbers from 1 to 5. Okay, so further what we are doing is we have created a variable called upper bound, and we have set the initial value as 1. Okay, and we have used a for loop here, and we will be taking I will be minimum value. Okay, so this min value is nothing but 1. Okay, here this 1, and this the value from, so the I value will be added by the value of 1. Okay, up to the maximum number, and that the maximum number is 5. So this I is nothing but 1 to 5. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5, that is what the I values are here. Okay, and this is the execution block, and initially the upper bound value is 1, so then it will be multiplied with the value of I. Okay, so 1 into 1, so again the I value will become 2, so the upper bound will be multiplied by the value of 2. Okay, so this is what 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5, that is what done here. Okay, using this code upper bound into equal to 1, sorry, into equal to I. Okay, then what we are going to do is we are going to test all the multiples of max. Okay, so here what we are going to do is in the for loop we are going to check if every value in the range divides the multiples of max. Okay, so let me explain you this concept here. So here we are having the largest multiple of the numbers from 1 to 5. Okay, so and that is 120. Now what we are going to do is we are going to find the least multiple of 1 to 5. Okay, further what we are going to do is we will be taking the maximum value of the range. Okay, and that is 5. Okay, and not only the maximum number from 1 to 5, but also the multiples of it. So what are the multiples of 5? That will be 10, and then 15, and then 20, and then 25, and then 30, and then 35, and then 40, and 45, 50. Okay, so it will be going on like this. So these are the multiples of the maximum number 5, okay. So here we are having the maximum number as 5, and these are the multiples of the maximum number 5 that are less than or equal to this, okay. Largest multiple of 1 to 5, okay. So we are writing multiples of 5 that are less than or equal to 120, okay. So that is what we have written here. So then what we are going to do is, we are going to check, okay, whether any number in this, okay, in this multiple of 5 is divided by all the numbers from 1 to 5, okay. So we are checking to check whether any number in the multiples of 5 is divided by all the numbers from 1 to 5, okay. That is what we are going to check, okay. That is what we are going to check. So why we have taken the why we have taken the multiple of the maximum number, okay. Why we have taken the maximum number of why we have taken the multiples of the maximum number. So we could have taken the minimum number also. So why we took the multiple of maximum number? Because if we have to find the least common multiple, so if we have to find the LCM of 1 to 5, it is necessary that it should be divided by 1, 2, 3, 4 and also 5, okay. So if it is divided only by 1, 2, 3, 4, it will not be taken as the LCM of 1 to 5, okay. So it is necessary that it should be divided by 5 also, okay. So it is necessary that the LCM of 1 to 5 should be divided by 5 also, okay. Not only with 1, 2, 3, 4, it should be divided with 5 also, okay. That is why we have taken the multiples of 5, okay. Now it is confirmed that the LCM is divided by 5. So let me put it here, okay. So the LCM of 1 to 5 should be divided by what are the numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. And here we have confirmed that this is a multiple of 5. So we can confirm this LCM will be divided by 5, okay. So let me make it plus, okay. So it denotes that it is divided by 5. But what we have to do is, we have to check whether it is divided by all the other numbers. So okay. So that is what we are doing here, to check whether any number in the multiples of 5 is divided by all the numbers from 1 to 5, okay. So that is what we are doing here. I hope you understand it, okay. So here what we are doing is, we are checking whether any number in this multiple of 5 is divided by all the numbers from 1 to 5, okay. And we will be getting what is the number that is divided by all the numbers from 1 to 5, and that is 60, okay, and 120. So these are the two numbers. I'm sorry, whether, yeah, these are the two numbers that is divided by all the numbers from 1 to 5, okay. So these are the two numbers. So we can call this as multiples of 1 to 5, okay, multiples of 1 to 5. So already we know the largest multiple of 1 to 5 is 120, and here we are having 60. So 60 is the minimum number that can be divided by multiples of 1 to 5, okay, sorry. So 60 is the minimum number that can be divided by 1 to 5, okay, and 120 is the maximum number that can be divided by 1 to 5. So what we can take here is 60 is the least common multiple of the numbers from 1 to 5, okay. So if you have understood what I have explained here, okay, from here, this is very easy for you to solve this code, okay. So far what we have done here is we have found the largest possible multiple, okay, using this code. And now what we are going to do is we have taken the value of multiple, sorry, we have taken max as the value for multiple, okay, that is 5, the maximum number. And what we are going to do is we are going to increase the value of multiple with the value of max. So we will be adding 5 every time to the multiple variable, okay. So initially we took the value of multiple as max. So this max is nothing but 5, okay. And every time we will be adding that multiple value with the value of 5, okay. So every time it will be adding as 5, 10, 15 like this, okay. Like this it will be adding up to what? Up to upper bound, okay. Upper bound is nothing but the largest possible multiple, and that is nothing but 120 here, okay. So it will be adding up to 120, okay. Then what we will be doing is we will be having let divisor count equal to 0, okay. So we have given let divisor count equal to 0, and then what we are going to do is we are going to have a for loop, and we have set the I value as min, and the I value will be increased by 1 and I less than or equal to max, okay. So I will be increasing up to the value of max. So here this min is nothing but 1, okay. This max is nothing but 5. So this I value is nothing but 1 to 5, okay. 1 to 5, okay. Then what will be happening here is we are dividing the multiple, okay, with the I. So here this multiple is nothing but all these multiples of 5, okay, all these multiples of 5 from 5 to 120. So all these multiples of 5 will be, okay, all these multiples of 5 will be divided by I, okay. I is nothing but 1 to 5, and if it returns the remainder of 0, okay, and if it returns the remainder of 0, we can consider that the multiple of 5, okay, it can be 5 or 10 or 15, that multiple of 5 is divided by I, okay. So initially the I value will be 1, okay, the initially I value will be 1, and it is dividing the multiple of 5, and if it leaves the remainder of 0, it means that the multiple of 5 is divided by I, okay. So initially we have the value of I as 1. So if we get 5 divided by 1 and remainder as 0, we can confirm that 5 is divided by 1, okay. So we are increasing the divisor count with 1, okay. So the multiple of 5 is having a divisor of 1, okay. So the divisor count has increased to 1. Then what we will be having is we will be having the I value as 2, okay, because the I value increases. So then we will be checking with the value of 2. And if that 2 is dividing the multiple, okay, that multiple of 5, then the divisor count will be increased to 2, okay. Then we will be checking with 3. If 3 also divides this multiple, the divisor count will be 3. And if we will be checking with 4. So if 4 also divides, the divisor count will become 4. And we will be checking with 5. If 5 also divides the multiple of 5, okay, divides the multiple of 5. So this multiple is nothing but the multiple of 5, okay. So if 5 also divides the multiple of 5, the divisor count will finally become 5, okay. So divisor count will become 5 now. Divisor count will become 5 now. Then what we will be doing is, so now we are having all the numbers divides the multiple of 5, okay, from 1 to 5. So the divisor count becomes 5. Then we will be checking if the divisor count is equal to number of divisors, okay. So initially we had the value of number of divisors, okay. So number of divisors are nothing but 1 to 5. So how many numbers are there from 1 to 5? 5, okay. So we have confirmed the divisor count is equal to the number of divisors from 1 to 5. It means that the multiple of 5 is divided by all the numbers from 1 to 5, okay. That is what it means here, okay. So the multiple of 5 is divided by all the numbers from 1 to 5. That is what means here, okay. So if this becomes true, we will be returning the multiple. So for example, if this multiple value was, for example, initially we will be taking the multiple as max, okay, initially 5. Initially we will be taking the max value as 5. Then the multiples of 5 will be getting into this iteration. So every time the 5 value will be increased by 5. So after 5 it will be 10 and after 10 it will be 15, okay. Like that the maximum value will be changing in this for loop, okay. So for example, when it reaches the value of 60, okay. So now the max value has become 60 here. Max value will become 60 after adding it, okay. So you know this already. So when this max value becomes 60 and enter into this for loop, okay, it will be divided by all the 5 numbers using this for loop, okay. And if it is divided by all the 5 numbers, the divisor count will become 5 and the divisor count is equal to number of divisors. So this will return multiple, okay. And that multiple value is nothing but the 60 that we took, okay. So 60 is the number which is divided by all the 5 numbers, okay. When this becomes true that all the 5 numbers divides the multiple, it will return the multiple. So 60 will be returned, okay. So 60 will be returned. After that we will not be checking whether 65 is divided by all the numbers, 70 is divided by all the numbers. We are not going to do that because we need only the least common multiple of numbers from 1 to 5. So we will be getting the output of 60. That's it. So the problem is over. Press Ctrl Enter. Now we are going to see drop it, okay. So given the array ARR, iterate through and remove each element starting from the first element, the 0 index, until the function returns the true when the iterated element is passed through it, okay. So here you can see a function, okay, that returns n greater than or equal to 3, okay. and here we are having 4 numbers 1 2 3 4. So what will be happening is all these 1 2 3 4 will be passed into this function, okay, every time. So first 1 will be passed into this function and will be checked with the condition of 1 greater than or equal to 3, and that is false. And then 2 will be passed into this function and 2 will be checked with the condition of 2 greater than or equal to 3, and that is also false. Then 3 will be checked. So 3 greater than or equal to 3, so that becomes true, okay. And then 4 will be checked, 4 greater than or equal to 4, so 4 will become true. So what you can understand here is 3 and 4 will pass this test, okay, 3 and 4 will become true. So what they have done is they have returned the function of, they have returned the array of 3 and 4, okay. So that is what they have said here. Given the array ARR, okay, iterate through and remove each element starting from the first element until the function func returns true, okay. So until the function gets true, okay, remove all the elements. So 1 and 2 will be removed, and after that all the elements will be passed. So all the elements will be returned, okay. So 1 and 2 will be removed and 3 and 4 will be returned. So all the elements will be removed until the value gets true. That is what we are going to do. So let me finish the answer and I will be explaining you. So this is what our answer is, okay. Here this is the function which we are going to execute, and this is the calling of the function, okay. So we have called this function drop elements here, okay, here, and it is having two parameters, one is array and function, okay. So this is the array and this is the function, okay. So what we will be doing is we will be removing the elements of this array until this function gets true, okay. So what we are going to do is we have written a while condition here, okay, while statement here, and the while statement says arr.length greater than 0, okay, arr.length greater than 0. So what we are saying is the array should not be empty here, okay, that is what the meaning of this is. The array should not be empty. So we have given a arr.length greater than 0, so there should be some elements in the array. So this should be becoming true, and also this also should get true. So what is this condition? Not function of arr of index 0, okay, not function of arr of index 0. So it means that if arr of index 0, that is the first element of this array, is passed to the function, okay, this function, it should not get true, okay, it should not pass this function. So if this first element is passed into this function, that should not get true, okay. So these are the two conditions which we have to execute at first. So why we have given this condition? So here what they have told is return the rest of the array once the condition is satisfied, otherwise arr should be returned as an empty array, okay. So if none of the let me tell you again. So this condition is given because, okay, because let me tell you why. So we have an array 1 2 3 4, okay, and it should pass the test. Make it a comment. We have an array and it should pass the condition. For example, element should be greater than 3, okay. The elements of this array should be greater than 3. That is what the condition. So what we will be doing is we will be removing the elements until this condition becomes true, okay. So when will this condition become true? 4 is greater than 3. So at that time only the condition will become true. 1, 2 and 3, all these elements are not greater than 3. Okay, so all these elements will be false. So we have to remove these elements from the array. So first we will be removing the array, element of 1. So now the array becomes 2, 3, 4. Okay. So what you can say here is the first element is removed. So the element of 2. Okay. So the second element has become the first element now. And again the test will be passed. Again the test will be done, and 2 is not greater than 3. So this 2 also will be removed. So then the array will become in array of 3, 4. Okay. And finally 3 also not greater than 3. So now the array will become 4. Okay. And this 4 will be returned because 4 is greater than 3. So now what you can see here is every time if the element is removed, okay, the element which does not satisfy this condition is removed, the second element becomes the first element. Okay, and again 2 does not pass the test. So 3 becomes the first element. So here what we are doing is we have written the condition as, okay, while arr dot length greater than 0. So this should not be an empty array, and also if the first element does not pass the condition. Okay, so if the first element does not pass the function, okay, so if the first element does not become true, what we will do is we will remove the first element. Okay, so every time we will be removing the first element. For example, here 1 is removed, and then array becomes like this 2, 3, 4. Then 2 also removed, then array becomes 3, 4. Then 3 also removed. Okay, so if the first element does not pass the condition, does not pass the function, okay, the first element should be removed. So we are giving arr dot shift. Okay, then we will be returning the array. That's it. So shift is used to remove the first element. Okay, and here you can see if this condition becomes false, for example, if the array has become empty, okay, if the array has become empty, we cannot remove the first element because there is no element. So simply the empty array will be returned. Okay, this condition will not be executed, and simply the empty array will be returned. Okay, that's it. So here we have used AND operator because both these conditions should be becoming true. Okay, that's it. Actually this is not necessary. Here what I have done is I have called this again. Okay, so this code is not necessary because just I have called this function and checked for the answer. Okay, so this is not necessary. So this alone is the code. Okay, this is very simple. Press Ctrl Enter. So then what we are going to see is here you can see steamroller. Okay, steamroller. Okay, so what it does is A is nested inside array, okay, which itself is a subarray. Okay, here you can see B also. B is nested inside an array which is itself is an array. Okay, so what you can see is we have inserted the values inside many subarrays. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to make them inserted inside only one dimensional array. Okay, so it should not have any subarrays at all. In a single array itself we have to insert the values. So by seeing itself you can understand what happens here. Okay, so we have to insert 1, 2, 3, 4 in a single array itself. Okay, that is what we have to do. So let me finish the answer and I will be explaining you. So this is the answer. Let us see how it works. So this is the function. Okay, and this function receives an array arr. So here we have called the function, okay, it has an array inside it. So this is the argument which is going to be passed to the function, and you can see the elements 1 and array of 2 and array of 3, comma, and then again there is array stored, and inside that there is another an array, okay. So simply what you have to get the result as, let us print it, okay, console.log of. So this is the result that you want to have, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let us see how it works. So inside the function I have created an empty array where all these elements will be stored, okay. Finally all these elements will be stored in this array, okay. Now I have used a for loop to access every element of this array, okay, the argument which is passed. I am going to be accessing every element of this array using this for loop, okay. I equal to 0 means the first element index, okay, and I plus plus means the index will be increased by the value of 1, and I less than arr.length means it will be accessing up to the last element of the array, okay. And we can write like this also, arr.length minus 1, okay. So we can write like this also. It means the index, the I value, the I should be accessing the array up to the index of this, okay. So arr.length minus 1 is nothing but the index of the last element. So I should be accessing up to the index of the last element, okay. That is what we have done here. And in the for loop, we have created an if else statement, okay. And that if else statement is nothing but first condition, if array dot is array of arr of index I, okay. It means that if arr of index I, okay, it checks, so let me make it clear, it checks whether arr of index I is nothing but the element of these arrays, okay, the first element, second element, third element. So they are called as arr of index I, okay. It checks whether the element of the array, okay, whether the element of the array is having the value of an array, okay. For example, here you can see this element is nothing but an array, okay. So that is what we have given here, okay. So it checks whether this element is an array, okay, whether this element is an array. So here you can see the second element is an array, so this becomes true, okay. Then if it is true, what we will be doing is we will be calling the function again, okay. Here you can see steamroller array of arr of index I, okay. So it means that we are calling the function again, okay. We are calling the function again, and what we are going to do is we are going to give argument as the element, okay. So we are giving the element as the argument. So if this element, the second element is the arr of index I, okay. So this passes the test, this becomes true. So what we will be doing is we will be calling the function again, and we will be giving the element as the argument, okay. And we are using spread operator here, okay, triple dot. Then what we will be doing is we will be pushing this to the flattened array, okay. So what this function will be doing is it will be extracting the value from the array. For example, this 2 is stored inside the array, okay. This 2 is stored in the array, inside the array. So what this function will be doing is it will be extracting the value from this array, okay, and we can use it for further purpose, further applications, okay. So for example, here you can see this element is having an array inside, okay, and inside that array there is 4. So there are multiple arrays inside an array. So this function will extract this value of 4 from this array, okay, and we can use it for further applications, okay. So if I am giving dot 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 steamroller array of ARR of index I, it will be yielding the value of 4, okay. Then we will be pushing that value to the flattened array, that's it. And we are having else part. So if this element is not an array, okay. So the first condition is if the element is an array, and second condition is in the else statement if the element is not an array, okay. So here we can see one is not an array. So directly what will be happening is the element, okay, that is ARR of index I will be directly pushed to the flattened array, okay. So finally the flattened array will be returned, that's it. Now we are going to see binary agents. Return an English translated sentence of the passed binary string, okay. So here you can see they have given a sentence, but all the words of this sentence are in binary, okay. So these are not in letters, these are in binary digits. So what we have to do is we have to return it into a sentence, okay. We have to make it a sentence. Here you can see. So all these binary digits have become a sentence now. So how to do it? So let me finish the code and I will be explaining you. So this is the answer, okay, we have completed, and let us see it. So we are passing a string as the argument, okay, this is the string, and then what we will be doing is we are going to split this string to separate words, okay. So this is a complete sentence. So what we are going to do is we are going to make every word a string, okay. So for that we are using split method, okay. So every word will become, every word will become a string now. For example, let me print the result, console.log of by string, and you will be getting separate words stored in an array, okay. We already know what is split method. Then I am going to create a variable called unistring. So in this we have created a variable called unistring, that is an empty array. So this is where all the results will be stored, okay. Then I am going to be using for loop. So why we are using for loop? Using for loop we are going to access every word of this array, okay. Every word of this array. So the initial index will be 0. So we have given I equal to 0. And the index will be increasing by 1. So we will be giving I plus plus. And we have given I less than by string dot length. Or we can give I less than or equal to by string dot length minus 1. Okay. So we can give like this also. So by string dot length minus 1 is nothing but the index of the last element. Okay. So I will be less than or equal to the index of the last element. So it will be accessing up to the last element. Okay. So then what we are going to do is we are having this. Okay. Let me expand this. So here we are having string dot from char code of parseInt of by string of index I comma 2. So this is parseInt, okay. So here we have used parseInt method, okay. ParseInt method. So first of all we have to know what is a parseInt method, and you can see here the parseInt method parses a value as a string and returns the first integer, okay. A radix parameter specifies the number system to use. So already we have seen parseInt, okay, parseInt and radix. So what this parseInt will be doing is, here we are having the element as string, okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to make it a number using %, okay. So that is the usage of %. It will be making a string to a number, okay. So the element by string of index I, okay. So the element of this array, that is what by string of index I. So that will be converted to a number, okay. That will be converted to a number to binary decimal system, okay, binary system. So to the number of binary, okay. So even if we do not specify the binary, what will be happening is the % will be assuming it as 10, okay. The 2 as 10 and it will be converting to number, okay. So the string will be now converted to binary digits, okay, binary digit number. Then we are going to use from char code, okay. So you can see what is the usage of from char code here. String dot from char code method converts Unicode values to characters, okay. Now what we have done is we have made this string, okay, this string to a digits, okay, binary digits. Then what we are going to do is we are going to make it letters, okay, characters. So this binary digit will be becoming now letters using string dot from char code, okay. That is what told here. So that's it. So finally what will happen is this string will now become a binary digit and this binary digit will now become a character, okay. So then what will be happening is that character value will be pushed to the unistring, okay. So then let us print the result console.log of unistring, okay. So now you are having each letter converted to character, okay. Then what we are going to do is we are going to make everything combined into a particular sentence. So we are returning unistring.join, okay. So when we are joining it, all these characters will become a sentence now, okay. So let me print the result here also, console.log of and finally you will be having a sentence. Here you can see aren't bonfires fun. So this is the sentence, okay. Press Ctrl Enter. Now everything be true, okay. Everything be true. So this is nothing but here what they have done is they have given an array as an argument, okay. So collection is an array, okay. So here they have given an array, okay. Okay, so this is what the array they have given, and they have given a string called isBot, okay. And here you can see isBot everywhere. For example, here you can see isBot, okay, inside an object, and in the second object also there is isBot, and in the third object also there is isBot. So every isBot value should become true. That is what they are saying here, okay. Read all these things and you can understand it. So everything be true. It means that whenever you find isBot inside an array, that should be having a value of true, okay. For example, this isBot is having the value of false, okay, and this isBot is having the value of false, and this isBot is having the value of true. But what they are saying is everything should be true. So finally what will become is it will be returning false, okay. That's it. For example, I am giving console, yeah, but we cannot get the answer now. So here you can see, here this isBot is not true everywhere, so this becomes false, okay. So here you are having isBot as false, here you are having isBot as false, and here only you are having isBot as true. But everything is not true here, so it is returned false. But here you can see they have given name, so this name should be true everywhere. So you can check for the name. So this name is true because this is a string, okay? And this name also becomes true because this is a string. And here also this name should be true because this is a string, okay? So everything is true, so it returns true. So like that we are going to check. Now let me complete the answer and I will be explaining you. So this is what our answer is, okay? So let me explaining it. So this is the array which we are having, and this is a value which the array has. Okay, for example, isBot is the value which is present inside this array, and it should be true everywhere. Okay, that is what we have to do now. And initially I am setting the counter value as 0. Okay, and I am using for in loop. So we already know what is for in loop. And I am giving let's see in collection. It means that every element of the collection, okay, every element of the collection will be accessed with the name of C. Okay, for example, this is the array which we are passing, and what is the element in this array? So there is object. There are 3 objects, okay? There are 3 objects in it. So every object is the element of that array, okay? Object is the element of that array. So what will happen is every object of that array will be passed with the name of C, okay? Then what we are going to do is we are going to give if statement here, okay? If statement here. Now what we are going to do is if it is has property and value is true, so we will be checking whether it has that property or not. For example, we are having isBot here, but now what we are going to do is whether this property is present inside this object. That is what we are going to check. And isBot property is present inside this array, okay? If isBot property is present inside this array, so that is what we are going to check. Now we are having the object as C. Then what we are going to do is we are giving the object name, we are giving the array name, and we are giving bracket notation C. It means the object in that array, okay? And we are giving dot has own property of pre. So now we are using has own property to check whether this property is available inside this object C, okay? And we are giving the property name pre here. So this will check whether that pre is available in the array, okay? For example, isBot is available inside the function, inside this object, okay? And the second condition is boolean of collection of C of pre, okay? So it means that collection is the array name and C means the object in it and pre means the property inside it, okay? For example, this is the array, okay? Then we are going to specify the object, so we are using bracket notation and we are giving C, and then we have to access the property. So we are giving the name of pre inside the bracket notation, okay? And we are giving boolean of, it means that it will be returning the boolean value. So if this isBot is true, okay, if this isBot is true, the boolean value of true is true, okay? So it will be returning true. So if both these conditions become true, okay, first it will be checking whether that property is available in that object. Second, it will check whether that property has the value of true, okay? So if both these conditions become true, the counter will be increased by 1, okay? And any of these conditions become false, this statement will not be executed and simply nothing will happen, okay? Nothing will happen because after this we are not having any code, okay? So finally we will be returning counter equal to collection dot length. It means that if the counter value, okay, if it checks all the object and if it finds isBot is true everywhere, okay, if it finds isBot is true everywhere, now the counter value will be equal to the number of objects, okay. Now the counter value will be equal to the number of objects because every object has the value of true for the property isBot. So now the counter value will be equal to the total number of objects in the array. So it means that all the objects are having the isBot value as true, okay. So if this becomes true, the return statement will be giving you true. And if this not becomes true, if this condition not becomes true, the return statement will be false. That's it. Press Ctrl Enter. So now we are going to see arguments optional, okay. Create a function that sums two arguments together. So we are going to make two numbers added, okay. And if only one argument is provided, then return a function that expects one argument. So if the user gives only one argument, we will be expecting another argument, okay, by returning a function. So here we can see they have called the function with only one argument. So it should return a function to expect another argument, okay. So finally both the numbers will be added and the result will be provided. Okay. For example, here they are having a function, okay, and it has only one argument. But for addition we should be having two arguments. So what we will be doing is we will be creating another function. So we will be calling another function and we will be getting the value of 3 and finally it will be returning 5. So let me complete the code and it will be easy for you to understand it, okay. So this is what our answer is, okay. We are having a function called add together, okay. And if only one argument is provided, what we will be doing is we will be, so let us see it. Here we are passing, sorry, for example, yeah, this is the true value. Here what they have told is if the first number, here you can see if either argument is not a valid number, return undefined. So this is the condition, okay. So first of all what we will be doing is we will be taking the arguments and we will be storing it in separate variables, okay, first and second, okay. Then what we will be doing is we will be checking the type of the first argument. So we are using if condition and we are giving type of first. So the type of the first variable will be returned here and that is a number, okay. And we are giving not equal to number. So if the type of the first argument is not a number, we will be returning undefined because they have told if either argument is not a valid number, return undefined, okay. And then we will be checking how many arguments are there, okay. So we will be giving if arguments dot length equal to 1. So if we are having only one argument, for example we are not having 3, only we are having 2. So if we are having only one argument, what we will be doing is we will be returning a function, okay. We will be returning a function that takes a second number as the argument, okay. That will take the second number as the argument. Then what we will be doing is we will be using add function and we will be giving two arguments, first and second. So what will happen here is the first number and the second number will be added and it will show the sum of the two numbers, okay. So if this becomes true, if this condition becomes true, if it has only one argument, this will return function like this, okay? Function like this. And here again if statement here, and this checks the type of the second argument, and if that argument is not a number, it will be returning undefined, because here we have told if either argument is not a valid number, return undefined, okay? So undefined will be returned if the second argument is not a number, okay? Finally what we will be doing is we will return first plus second, okay? So every time we will not be returning undefined all these things. So once a return statement is given inside a function, okay, after the code after the return statement will not be executed, okay? For example, if this condition becomes true and return undefined, so after the code after the return statement will not be executed, okay? And here also like that only. If this if condition becomes false, so nothing will be returned, so this if condition will be executed. And if this if condition becomes true, this will be returned, okay? So as this is returned, the code after the return statement will not be executed, okay? So this is how we are doing this code. Press Ctrl Enter. Now I am thinking this is a very simple code, okay? Make a person. Okay, let me finish the code and I will be explaining you. This is very simple. Actually, this is a constructor, okay? So how can we identify a constructor? The first letter of the constructor name will be starting with P, okay? Capital P, uppercase P. So we can identify this as a constructor. And this constructor function receives an argument called first and last, okay? And at the last we can see const Bob, okay? And we are calling the constructor function and we are giving argument as Bob Ross, okay? Then you can see const Bob equal to new. This means we are creating a constant called Bob and we are using new, okay? So when we are giving new and the constructor function, what will happen is this Bob will become an instance of this person constructor, okay? So all the properties of the person constructor now can be accessed using Bob, okay? So if we have to know detailed about object-oriented programming, constructor function, you can go to the previous classes and you can watch it, okay? So now let us go into it. So at first what we are doing is we have declared the let full name equal to first and last, okay? So this is the full name, Bob Ross is the full name. So we have declared a variable called the full name and we have given first and last, okay? So this Bob Ross will be assigned to the variable full name. Then we are going to create properties, okay? So if you have to create properties inside the constructor function, you have to give this dot, okay? So we are giving this dot get first name. So what we should do in order to get the first name? So here you can see Bob Ross. So we need only the first name. So how to do it? We are creating a function, okay? And that function will be returning full name dot split of index 0, okay? So what it will be doing is this Bob Ross will be splitted into two words. For example, Bob and Ross, and it will be stored into an array, okay? For example, let us print here. Console.log of full name dot split, okay? So now you can see here Bob and Ross. Now Bob Ross has become And we can print the full name also, console.log of full name. So now you can see Bob Ross is here. Okay, this is the full name. Now we have used the split method and we have split it into two words, okay, into an array. Now what we need is we have to get the first name only. So what we are going to do is, we have already split it into two words. Now we are giving the index of 0. So the first name is having the index 0, okay. So we are giving index of 0. So the index 0 of this array is nothing but the first name of that word, okay. So that will be returned. So the same for get the last name also. So Ross is the last name and it is stored inside the array with index 1, okay. So we have given full name dot split of index 1, okay. Then we have to get the full name. So how to get the full name? Just to return the full name variable, okay. So if you are returning this full name variable, the full name will be returned, okay. Then we are going to use set first name. Then now what we are going to do is we are going to set the first name. For example, we are having only the second name, okay. So let us see this. Instead of Bob Ross, we are having only the second name, only Ross, okay. Now we have to add Bob to the first. So what we are going to do is we are going to give full name equal to, so this is the argument that we are receiving. So this name should be the first name, okay. So this name will be having some value and that value should be the first name. So we are giving name here and then we have to leave space. So if we take this name as Bob, okay. Now we are having only Ross, but we have to add Bob to the first. So this Bob will be added here with the name of name, okay. And some space has to be left. So we are giving space, okay. And then we have to add the second word, Ross. So we are giving full name dot split and index of 1. So this Ross will be added, okay. We are having an array and the index 1 of that array will be added here, okay. And that is the second name. So now we will be having full name, okay. And again we are having another thing. For example, set last name. So in this we are having only the first name, okay. And we are not having second name. So we will be receiving the second name as an argument and we will be storing that after the first name, okay. For example, here we are having only Bob and Ross should be added, okay. So Ross will be called by this argument name, okay. So let us take name as Ross, okay. If we are calling name as Ross, what will happen is we will be assigning full name with full name dot split of index 0. So the index 0 of this array, that is nothing but Bob, okay, that will be added here and we will be adding some space. So the space will be added and then name, okay, that is what we pass as an argument and that is nothing but Ross. If we pass name with the value of Ross, the Ross will be added here. So we will be getting the full name. That's it. Then finally this dot set full name, okay. If we have to set the full name, for example, we do not know what is name. So if we are receiving name as an argument, for example, if I am giving name as Bob Ross as an argument, for example, here we are giving it as an argument. So if I give name as an argument, we will be setting full name equal to name, okay, that's it. So this is what this constructor function is. Press Ctrl Enter. So let us see this map the debris, okay. According to Kepler's third law, the orbital period t of 2 point masses, okay. So they have given the Kepler's laws formula, okay. This is the formula for t. And they have given what is A, what is mu, what is G, all these things, okay. What is M, all these things. Return a new array that transforms the element's average altitude into their orbital period. For example, here you can see, they have given Sputnik, okay, and they have given average length of the Sputnik, average length traveled by the Sputnik. And what we have to return is, we have to return the name and the orbital period of that Sputnik, okay. So they will be giving you average altitude. So we will be returning the orbital period, okay. That is what we have to do here. So return a new array that transforms the element's average altitude into their orbital periods in second, okay. The array will contain objects in the format. So in this format you have to add it, okay. The values should be rounded to the nearest whole number, the body being orbited in Earth. So the values should be rounded to the nearest whole number, okay. That also has to be considered. So they have given radius of the Earth in kilometers and the GM value of the Earth also, okay. So now I am going to be completing the answer and I will be explaining you. So I have completed the answer, okay. So here you can see array as an argument, okay. So this is the array which we will be having, and what we are going to do is we are going to convert this average altitude to what? Average altitude to orbital periods, okay. That is what we are going to do now. So these things were given by them already. Now what we are going to do is we are creating a constant A, okay, and what we will be doing is we are going to multiply it with, what we are going to do is we are going to have 2 into math.pi, okay, 2 into math.pi. So this is nothing but, here you can see 2 pi, okay. So math.pi is nothing but the value of pi and we are multiplying it with 2. So we are having 2 pi here, okay. So we are assigning this 2 pi to the variable called const A. And now we are having an empty array, okay. So this is where all the code will be stored finally. And again we are having a function, okay. We are having a function. In this what we are going to do is, we are going to create const C, and that is nothing but math.power of earth radius plus object.average altitude, 3, all these things, okay. So these are all just formulas. These are all just formulas. So now we have used A to assign this value, okay. Now we are going to access the square root, okay. Now we are creating a constant called C, okay. Then we are using math.power in order to get the value of A cube, okay. For getting the value of A cube we are using math.power, and this A is nothing but earth radius plus object dot average length, okay. So this object is nothing but, so this object obj is nothing but this, okay. This is the object. The object obj is nothing but this. This is the object, and this object is nothing but which is stored inside the array, okay. And we are giving average length. Obj dot average length is nothing but, if we have to access this average length we have to give the object name. So we are giving obj dot average length, okay. So now the earth radius and the object dot average length. So this average length. So the earth radius and the average length will make the value of a here, okay, and that will be cubed, okay, that will be having the power of 3. So we are using math.power of the value and we are giving it the power of 3, okay. Now it will be cubed, a cube, okay. Then we have to have the value of mu. So for mu we are creating another constant called b. So not for b. So for this whole square root we are having constant b, okay. And what we will be doing is we will be adding square root using math.square root and we will be giving c by gm. C is nothing but this a cube, okay, that we have created here, and divided by gm because mu equal to gm, okay, they have defined here. So we have given gm. Finally what we will be doing is const or period, okay, we are creating a constant and we will be rounding the value of a into b, okay. So 2 pi is nothing but a, okay, 2 pi is called with the variable a and this whole square root is b. So we will be rounding the value of math.round of a into b, okay. So finally we will be returning an object that contains name and the orbital period, okay. So name will be assigned with the value of this object's name. So we are giving obj.name, okay. In order to access this particular string Sputnik, we have to give obj.name because this is assigned with the property name of name inside the object, okay. So we are giving obj.name. And this orb period, okay, the value of this orb period will be stored in the property of orbital period, okay. So the value, this value will be stored with the name of orbital period, okay. Then we are using for loop here, for in loop. Then what we are going to do is we are taking the array ARR, okay, so this whole array, and what we will be doing is we will be passing every object of that array with the name of lm, okay, because here you can see there are many objects stored in an array, okay, there are many objects stored in an array. For example, ISS and Hubble, okay, and moon. So many objects are there, but here we are having only one object called Sputnik, okay. So if there are many objects, what we are going to do is we are going to access every object of that array using the name of lm, okay. Then what we will be doing is we are going to push it. That is what we are going to do. For example, so actually this is here you can see we are calling this function. So till now we have not specified what is the object, okay, what is the actual object. So we are calling this function here, okay, we are calling this get orb period here, calling the function here. So here you can see every object of this array, okay, every object of this array will be passed with the name of lm, okay, with the name of lm, and this element, okay, this element will be passed into the get orb period, okay. So this function will be getting every object using the name of ARR of index lm, okay, that's it. So now we have called this function. Finally we will be storing it into new ARR, okay. So the result that we get from here, this function, so every object now will be changed. So now every object will be having changed the value of average altitude to what? Average altitude to orbital period, okay. So where it is, yeah, average altitude to orbital period. So like that every object will be changed. then what we will do is, we will be pushing every changed object into the new ARR using this code. Okay, that's it. So finally all the objects will be changed and it will be pushed into new ARR. Okay, now the new ARR will be returned. Press Ctrl Enter. So this is finished. Okay, press Ctrl Enter. Now this is a project based. Okay, let me close this. For example, here you can see we have completed everything, including intermediate algorithm scripting, all these things. Okay, so now we have completed intermediate algorithm scripting in this class. Then the next is JavaScript algorithms and data structures projects. Okay, we are having 5 projects, and actually this is a certification based project. Okay, so here you can see complete these 5 JavaScript projects and earn the JavaScript algorithm data structures certification. Okay, so if you complete all these 5 projects, you will be getting the certificate of JavaScript algorithms and data structures. Actually, as this is a certification based projects, I am not going to teach you. Okay, so what you can do is, you can do all these projects by yourself and you can earn the certification. Okay, so if you need any JavaScript algorithms and data structures certification, you can complete this course and particularly these 5 projects, and you can earn the certification. Okay, so that's it. We have completed JavaScript algorithms and data structures of our full stack development course. And in the next class, we will be seeing front-end libraries. Okay, starting with Bootstrap. So in the next class, we will be seeing front-end libraries starting with the Bootstrap. So here you can see, okay, at the last, front-end development library certification. Okay, if I click it, you can see Bootstrap. So this is what we are going to see in the next class, Bootstrap, and there are many other front-end libraries. Bootstrap, jQuery, SASS, React and Redux. All these things we are going to see in the next class. Okay, from the next class, not in the next class, from the next class. So after completing all these things, we will be clear in full stack development. Sorry, we will be clear in front-end library. Okay, front-end development. So that's it, my friends. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for supporting me. And please do subscribe. Let us see in the upcoming videos. Thank you.